So we have a tier list of all the 2024 rap albums, and today I'm going to be doing this tier list with the most popular ones that dropped this year and just the ones I've listened to. Because as you can tell, there are a lot of albums on this, and half of these are just irrelevant underground albums that are buns. Some of them are actually popular albums that I just haven't listened to. For example, I know The Last Lap by Rod Wave I haven't listened to, and I don't plan on listening to. I'm not listening to Rod Wave. And then Ice Cube had an album that dropped this year. You know, there's some pretty big albums. You know, Glorilla had an album, but I just personally haven't listened to these, so obviously I'm not going to rank them. But for the most part, all of these are irrelevant, and yeah, so I'm just going to be going over the popular ones that, you know, we all know and, again, that I've listened to. So starting off with Kid Cudi's new album, Insano. So Cudi's music has obviously kind of fallen off over the years. I'd say his peak was easily Man on the Moon. He was going crazy with the features on songs like Gorgeous and then Man on the Moon 2. You know, that was Cudi's peak. That was his prime. And now his music is just very forgettable. And it's sad because I really do like Cudi, especially his old music, but now it's just not special. There's nothing to really revisit. Off of this album, I really like Blue Sky. The production on that song is beautiful, and that's a really catchy song. It's a really fun song. But for the most part, this album it came and went. It's forgettable. So I'm gonna have to throw it in D tier. For now, it was not the best album. Then we have 21 Savage's album, American Dream, which was pretty solid. Definitely one of 21's best projects. I don't think it's better than I Am Better Than I Was or Savage Mode 2, but there's some bangers off here. Obviously, Red Rum, one of the biggest rap songs this year. It's solid, but I don't think it's in that rap album of the year category. Some people are really high on this project. So I'd say this is around a, I'm wanting to go B tier, which I probably am going to get a hate for that. Hold on. Let me, I just need to look at some of these, I don't know, I might bump it up to A tier. Yeah, I'm gonna bump it up to A tier. I'm just looking at these albums. I'm just trying not to underrate anything. S tier, no. I think there's gonna be people that believe it's a S tier album this year. I don't believe that. And then moving on to Kanye, the star of his Vultures series with Vultures 1. Easy S tier album. No, I'm just joking. I think this is an album that definitely grew on me though, because when it first dropped, I thought it was absolute horrible, was never going to revisit anything. But I think a lot of us also thought it wouldn't get any worse from there, and he went and dropped Vultures 2. So that itself is going to make Vultures 1 look better. But I mean, obviously Carnival came off of it, which was one of, if not the biggest rap song of this year. And then my favorite is Burn, easily. Burn is an amazing song. It's actually an amazing song. Problematic and Beg Forgiveness are other good songs. There's actually solid songs you can pull off of this album, but it's still a low in Kanye's catalog, and there's some kind of just whack tracks, and overall as an album, I wouldn't say it's in any of the top tiers, so I'd say it's a B tier album. And now moving on to Yeat's first album he dropped this year, 2093. I actually just made a short talking about, you know, kind of trashing on Yeat because all of his music sounds the same. And when I recorded that, I was mainly just thinking of Lifestyle, the most recent album he just dropped. Because yeah, I will admit, 2093 was a completely different style for Yeat. He tried a lot of new things in this album, and honestly, it's something completely new for him, and I like that about him. So I kind of just had to clear up about that. I was totally wrong about that. And Lifestyle, that definitely does still sound the exact same, but apparently he just made that album for his old fans. So I don't know, I'm not big into Yeat, but I will say 2093 is different. He's trying something new. Me personally, I'm still not a big Yeat listener though. I want to bump it up to B tier though, because like I said, I gotta respect that he's doing new stuff, and this is a completely different project for him, and it's honestly pretty solid. Schoolboy Q's Blue Lips project, this was incredible. This was one of the best albums that were dropped this year easily. It's a top 3 album that dropped this year. This is incredible. Thank God For Me is one of the best rap songs that were made this year, and there's also other songs on that album that were some of the best that were made this year. Very great album, one of the best this year, and it will be remembered when we think back at 2024 for the albums that were dropped this year. S tier album. And then we have We Don't Trust You again. This is a pretty easy S tier album, just completely filled with hits and bangers from this year. And Like That was also one of the biggest rap songs that dropped this year. Kendrick had one of the craziest verses, seeing what it led to. We have Might Delete Later by J. Cole. Honestly, there's not much I want to say about this mixtape. It was nominated as one of the rap albums of the year, and I was never really big on it. I haven't revisited much off of this. It wasn't terrible. It's kind of just one of those things on me that it's just that middle tier. Yeah, well, honestly, okay, I had to think about this for a bit, but I'm gonna go C tier. I'm gonna drop it to C tier. And then we have Future's second album of the year, We Still Don't Trust You. Definitely not as good as We Don't Trust You. It felt like a downgrade to me, this whole album, like almost extra stuff that would have been on We Don't Trust You. Actually, no, that's not the right term, because that's what mixtape Pluto felt like, and that's we'll get there. But simply, it was solid. It obviously wasn't as great as We Don't Trust You. It wasn't a bad album. It's just one of those solid albums. There's tracks to go back to. There's great features. You have A$AP Rocky on this album, The Weeknd, J. Cole, and then Chief Keef About Damn Time finally dropped Almighty So 2 this year. You know, I'm done with the crazy drill rap. I don't enjoy it at all. So I'll just say that straight up. I'm not revisiting this album. Chief Keef had his peak long ago with Finally Rich and the birth of drill rap. It's just kind of one of those things where if this is the genre of music, the genre of rap that you enjoy, you know, you can go ahead, like, listen to it as much as you want. It's just all personal preference. So I will put it in C tier. I'm not going to listen to it. I'm not going to go revisit it. I'm not going to say it's a bad album. It's just a whole preference thing. And then moving on to Gunna's One of One project. Now, this is the rapper that I should have been flaming more about. Hasn't evolved a damn thing over the years. Just the production of his music, the flow that he has, and just the shit he raps about. I can't with Gunna. I'm sorry if there's any Gunna fans watching this, but One of One is not good. I'm gonna put it in D tier because F tier belongs to one special album that we'll get to, or actually I think two. And now moving on to, this is my second favorite album that dropped this year, Dark Times. This is incredible. I believe it's easily Vince Staples' best project, definitely the most meaningful and deep. It's put together really well. A lot of great tracks off of here. I love Government Cheese. Black and Blue was a banger. I mean, this is a great album. This is an S tier for this year. And then moving on to New World Depression, I probably could have just thrown this in the didn't listen section because this shit is so ass. And it's such a niche style of rap. Either you love it or you don't want anything to do with this. So I don't know how to really grade it besides this music's whack. There's no in between. You're not gonna think this is a solid album. Like, either you love this or you hate it. And I hate it, so I'm gonna go F tier. I don't like this Suicide Boys stuff anymore. So moving on to Hardstone Psycho by Don Toliver, one of those albums that are highly praised this year, highly viewed as one of the best albums that were dropped this year, because honestly, it was one of those better projects. But I am not as high on this as everyone else is. There's tracks to go back to. I mean, Backstreet's Inside, those are some pretty solid songs that I enjoy a lot. And Don Toliver put together a pretty solid project, but I don't think it's definitely not S tier, and honestly, I'm not putting it in A tier either. I think it fits well with the B tier albums, but I think I would definitely put it ahead of Vultures 1, We Still Don't Trust You. I think it's the top of B tier. And then moving on to Gemini by Lucky. Now, I didn't include any of this underground shit in this video, besides if you want to consider Lucky underground. I just want to include Lucky because I do actually really like Lucky, but only his old music. I can't with this new stuff he's dropping. Like, at this point, it's only getting worse and worse, and this album was kind of a disaster, I can't lie. He's walking in the studio with his lean gut, half asleep, speaking about whack-ass shit that he's been doing for years now, and he's not getting any better. He's not changing anything up. Like I said, it's really getting worse. It's getting worse and worse. I'll always bump old Lucky. I mean, Body High was an amazing mixtape, but new Lucky is never going to be in my rotation. And then we got Samurai by Lupe, Fiasco, however y'all want to pronounce that. One of the best rappers of all time, and he's still dropping quality music. This was a solid project. An underlooked project because I don't hear a thing about this by anyone on any TikTok, YouTube. I don't hear anything about this project, but I mean, it's better than some of the glazed ones this year. I have a lot of albums in the B tier, but this is another one that I think is, if it's the B tier. The Death of Slim Shady by Eminem. Love him or hate him, this is one of the best projects Eminem has dropped in a while. It's a pretty quality project, and there are bangers off of here. I'm still going back to Fuel very often with Jid, because that's such a banger track. In each end of the album, it's really quality. The rapping here, the production, I mean, either way you want to go, it's all going to be solid. So love him or hate him, this is solid, and I'm going A tier. Now, King of the Mischievous, I don't know how y'all say it, but I don't care. KOTMS, boom. This is an incredible project. The full version makes me want to praise it even more, but full version or not, this is one of my favorite albums of the year. And just Denzel Curry in general, he's such a consistent rapper every year. Every time he drops an album, it's always good. He doesn't have lows in his catalog. It's kind of crazy. He needs more monthly listeners. He needs more praise. I'm gonna go up here because this is definitely I'm gonna rank this. I really want to rank this how I feel about the album, whether We Don't Trust You is you know, better, whatever y'all feel. Blue Lips is better, whatever y'all feel. King of the Mischievous South was amazing, and I loved it. And then we have Faith of a Mustard Seed by Mustard. This is another one of those albums that came and went. We found out it was dropping, had some hype on social media. It dropped, and boom, no one was talking about it. And overall, it's mid. It is very mid. So, or at least, I mean, I didn't really enjoy this, man. There's nothing I'm going back to on this album, so I'm going to throw it in D tier. And then earlier when I said there's a special album that belongs in F tier, it's Y2K. I forgot about the fact that there's actually multiple albums that are going in the F tier, but the king of F is Ice Spice. I Laid Down My Life for You by JPEG Mafia. This was one of the most unique albums that dropped this year, and it's a lot of people's album of the year, which is very respectable. I can't say I'm the biggest listener of JPEG Mafia, but it doesn't deny how incredible this album is and how unique his music is. His production is crazy. But I just love how versatile of an artist JPEG Mafia is, and just the fact that he's able to change stuff up, and it's all just the production, really. He is a crazy producer, so I'm going to throw this in S tier. And then we got Vultures 2. I'm not going to lie, I love you, Kanye, but I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about this. It's F tier. It's F tier. Moving on. And then we got Hood Rat 2, or no, Hood Poet. Not trying to bash on Polo G, but after a while of not dropping music, he came back and didn't do anything special. And it's just another thing. There's not much I want to say besides I didn't enjoy it. It came and went. So I think it is the epitome of a D tier album. Doshi's mixtape Alligator Bites Never Heal. It's great. It deserves the nominee for one of the albums of the year. It's really an incredible project, and there's a lot of banger songs in this album. It's just such a versatile project, too. A lot of different styles of production and rapping. So it definitely deserves its hype. I'm not going to go S tier. We have 5 S tier albums, and yeah, I think they're all better than Alligator Bites Never Heal, and I don't want to go too high on it because I don't think it's that good. And here we are at Mixtape Pluto. This was not needed. This is what I was talking about. A bunch of scraps from the We Don't Trust You, We Still Don't Trust You. But, this was whack. This was whack, and I don't like it much at all. So, D tier it goes. Plan A by Lil Tecca was a solid project. There's not much I really want to say about this. I didn't expect Lil Tecca to have such a solid project, because I thought he was, I mean, at least me, I completely forgot about him. So for him to come back and drop something like this, you know, I was surprised. But there's really not much to point out about it besides that. So it looks like we're about to have yet another A tier album. I might bump Hearthstone Cycle up to A tier because we don't have many A tier albums while we have 6 B tiers. Lifestyle by Yeat, I gave my opinion on this too. It's just the same old Yeat, but if it's to please old fans, that's totally fine. If you enjoy that, then that's fine. Listen to it. Still not going to rank it high. It's nothing different. It's just kind of a bundle of his old music, and it's all preference. I'm going to throw it in D tier, though. 2093 was much better. And then we have arrived to Chromacopia, which is easily my album of the year. This is incredible. Yeah, y'all already knew I was going to glaze Tyler, but I'm not even trying to glaze Tyler. This was just such an incredible project, and there's so much diversity with different types of songs. It's the best album I've heard this year, and it's, yeah, that's that. Eternal A Take 2, that was very unexpectedly horrible. I was kind of hyped seeing it come out, but then this was just not put together well. There was nothing good about this project. This might just be an F tier album, because yeah, honestly, all these projects are better than it, and whether there's a song or two like Lightyear that's good, this was not good. Not good. So I'm gonna have to leave it in F. We're getting near the end here, so only a couple more to talk about, and then we got Freddie Gibbs next, one of my favorite rappers. He is severely underrated. This year he gave us another solo project, and out of his solo projects, I don't think it's the best one. I'm still gonna give that to Shadow of a Doubt, and it was pretty solid. There's those tracks that, you know, you're gonna revisit, but I don't think anything was really outstanding. The rapping was good, the production was good at points, sometimes, you know, but as much as I love Freddie Gibbs, I'm not gonna glaze this too much. I'm gonna throw this in the C tier. And then we got Still Praying by Westside Gunn. I really can't with Westside Gunn anymore. I'm sorry. I went through a phase where I was like really liking Westside Gunn and starting to get into a lot of his music, but it died on me so quick. And then when he dropped this album, I'm just tired of Westside Gunn's music sounding the same, rapping the same. I guess I can't really call it the same because he has DJ Drama in this, which I didn't think fit really well. But I just don't find anything about this project outstanding. I didn't like the production, so that's gonna go in the D tier. The Crossroads by Cordae. This was an album that surprisingly excited me when I saw the features. I mean, it's really a stacked feature list, but then it dropped, and nothing stands out to me on this project, really. Even the songs with Kanye and Joey Badass, I don't revisit. Underwhelmed me very much, but I also started to hype it up a little bit when I saw the features, so part of that is on me, but it came and went. I'm gonna go D tier. Only 3 albums left. Before I get into GNX, I'm gonna talk about this album that keeps hurting my eyes because it's fucking Net Spend. I should have just put this in the didn't listen because I don't even want to mention it, but I just wanted to mention the fact that people unironically listen to Net Spend. Like, I thought the whole idea of this dude's music was a joke. That's how horrible it is. Like, it's not even funny. This shit is some of the worst music I've ever heard in my life. It's terrible. I would get a Y2K vinyl and become an Ice Spice fan before I started to listen to Net Spend. But anyway, we also got The Party Never Ends. This was flat right out disrespectful to Juice WRLD because all this is the record labels just kind of like scraping Juice WRLD's music with a shovel, just getting every last penny they can. It's not even his best unreleased tracks, not any of them, honestly. They're just scraping dollars, scraping money, using his name for fame and money, and it's just beyond messed up. I have no disrespect towards Juice WRLD. Rest in peace. I just wanted to talk about that though. I'm not going to even rank this just because of that. I don't want to slander Juice WRLD's name, but it's just a whole, all they want is money. All they want is money. They just got to let Juice rest in peace at this point. I'm hoping Balloonerism by Mac Miller is not that way. His record label's got him. I'm hoping. But anyway, just wanted to talk about that. And then the final album we have is GNX, one of the biggest albums, if not the biggest album this year. After all the beef and all the crazy shit that's happened this year with Kendrick Lamar, he drops this album completely out of nowhere. I woke up one day and saw that Kendrick Lamar dropped an album, and this has some of the craziest lyrics and meaning. Very incredible, but I'm not a GNX glazer. It's not his best project. It's not put together like his other projects too. When you look at T-Pab and Good Kid, Mad City, and damn how there's like story and stuff, it's not put together like the usual Kendrick projects, which is why I said it feels like a mixtape almost. It is incredible, but there's tracks that I'm not revisiting, and because of that, I'm not going to put it S tier. I'm going to put it A tier. I'm not about to glaze Kendrick. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go straight off my personal opinion. I don't think it's up with those S tier albums, even though it has been getting streamed like crazy. So there it is, the 2024 rap album tier list. So looking at this, yeah, my top 3 favorites are Chromacopia, Dark Times, and KOTMS. And like I said, this actually has like every album that has dropped this year, and half of these are whack. But if there's not whack albums in here, y'all gotta let me know. Maybe I'll listen to some of these. So yeah, that'll be it for this video and this tier list ranking. Let me know how y'all feel about this, and what would y'all's tier list look like, or maybe like your top 5 albums. I'm just kind of curious to see other people's opinions. So yeah, I appreciate y'all watching this video. Make sure y'all leave a like and subscription. I'll see y'all in my next video.